Uber's driverless cars are back on the road after less than a year of the fatal crash in Arizona. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and happy Christmas Eve. I don't know exactly what the exact term is. I always said Merry Christmas, but it's not Christmas yet. That's still tomorrow. And so this is pretty much going to be my last news video. I was going to do a story about Amazon, but I decided to hold it off until Wednesday or Thursday. It was just too, how should I put this? A little too depressing for such a wonderful day. So let's talk about the driverless cars being back on the road, because it took a long time. I didn't say they'd never come back on the road, but it took a lot longer than what Uber said. Remember when Uber said, oh, these cars are going to come back on the road in a few months, and now it's almost a year later? Well, they are back on the road, and well, it's kind of a good and a bad thing for Uber right now. According to Gizmodo, Uber's driverless cars are cruising around Pittsburgh again, returning from their hiatus following a fatal crash in Arizona. I'm not even going to, just in case. Tempe, Arizona. Okay, what the heck. If I got it wrong, Merry Christmas, enjoy the laugh. That self-driving car test struck and killed a cyclist on March 13th, little more than 9 months ago. A backup driver was behind the wheel, but police reports show they were streaming the voice at the time of the collision. A week before the crash, an Uber employee, Robbie Miller, reportedly warned company executives in an email about safety concerns. Uber's head of advanced technologies, Eric Mayhofer, announced in a blog post on Thursday that its driverless cars began driving on public roads again. The company received permission to test autonomous cars in Pittsburgh from the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation earlier this week, which is impressive. I didn't think they were actually going to do that, especially when Uber announced they were returning their cars to Pittsburgh, and the mayor was like, I haven't heard about this. I don't know what the heck they're talking about, so I'm surprised they even let it through. Chances are some money exchange hands. My Aunt Mary lives back east. Granted, she lives in New Jersey, but she states all the time that New Jersey and Pittsburgh politics are the worst. Like, you can easily get bought off there. So I think someone got bought off, but whatever. When reached for comment, a company spokesperson referred Gizmodo to Mayhofer's blog, which highlights safeguards the company announced in July, safety reviews, and a safety report. Which, by the way, I reported on those reports too on this channel, and apparently they weren't even coming close to hitting any of the marks, so this required a lot of introspection and took some time, Mayhofer writes. Now we are ready to move forward. Uber says starting today, each test car will have 2 human operators prepared to take control in emergencies, and drivers will work in 4-hour shifts. Previously, these operators worked 8 to 10-hour shifts. The company says it has also added cameras that make an audible alert when they detect distracted drivers and reports them to a monitor team. These cars aren't permitted to take passengers. I don't know if the other cars were allowed to take passengers either. I actually can't remember, to be honest, but yeah, that makes sense. Back in March, Uber's self-driving cars were reportedly driving up to 55 miles per hour. Now they are only supposed to go up to 25 miles per hour, according to a report from the New York Times. The Times reports that the cars will drive on a circuit in the busy Pittsburgh Strip district, but only during weekdays when the sun is up. In the aforementioned warning email that an Uber manager sent to executives, he mentioned reports of the dangerous behavior of backup drivers. Miller's email mentioned routine accidents. Quote, "This is usually the result of poor behavior of the operator or the AV technology. A car was damaged nearly every other day in February. We shouldn't be hitting things every 15,000 miles. Repeated infractions for poor driving rarely results in termination. Several of the drivers appear to have not been properly vetted or trained." I am not surprised. This is Uber we're talking about, and we've talked about this before. Uber's autonomous cars also started driving in Toronto and San Francisco on Thursday, but Uber says the cars will only be operated in manual mode by human drivers, for the purpose of teaching the system scenarios it will face when the cars are free of their human master. So essentially, Uber is starting on day 1. And for an industry that has apparently gotten fairly far and is still nowhere near to being complete, that is not a good position to be in. But hey, at least Uber's cars are back on the road, right? I guess you can see them driving around Pittsburgh. Not sure if you'll know what they actually look like, though, because again, 2 drivers in the car. So should have always been 2 drivers. I don't know. Again, these things aren't coming anytime soon. I stand by that. I always have. I don't care what some of my other UberTubers say. We can respectfully disagree on that. I've been talking about these cars for 3 years, and they've always been 2 years away. And now Uber is nowhere near the forefront of the autonomous car revolution, if in fact that revolution gets off the ground. But as always, I'd like to know what you guys think on this wonderful Christmas Eve. Do you think this is the beginning of a new birth for Uber, or do you think it's just something that they're doing to save face? I'm frankly surprised they didn't sell the division. I honestly thought they were going to sell the division, just wash their hands of it. But I'd love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and Merry Christmas to one and all.